Welcome to DM Prep. My name is Ian and I'll be your DM for today. Today we are prepping episode 6 of the Gilded Troll Plays Odyssey of the Dragon Lords, which may or may not be titled the Mithral Mines. It's definitely what I'm prepping today, but I don't know if that's actually what we're going to call the episode. I think we'll figure that out as we're prepping here. So first I need to increase the font size on my notes here, because I forgot to do that. It's 26. Cool beans. Let's turn off word wrap, because I hate that. Mind of the Mines. I mean, that's cute. So I mean, the issue isn't, I need a cooler name. The issue is, I don't know if they're going to the mines. But I guess we'll figure that out as we prep, won't we? So, episode 2020-0808. Alright, so let's review last session's notes, just to see if we got through everything. Alaris feels the light of sun. Yep, that was her birthday thingy. Karina wants to go home. They got the javelin. Kyra tried to give them the coin. They gave it back to her. That's cool. Next full moon doesn't matter anymore. Pythor had Remir swear an oath of protection. Gave him the hammer. They understand how it works. Vulcan heard of the prophecy 100 years ago, assuming the prosthetics. Aesop. They talked to Aesop. Cool. We covered everything. How many different locations can they go to next session? So there's really two big ones. So they could go to the Mithral Mines, or they could go to the Necropolis of Telamok. So how about we go through the rationales for each? So the Dragon Slayer needs to go there. Necropolis, the Vanished one. Needs his armor. Let's look at the epic paths. Running the adventure, preparing the adventure, running the epic paths. So speaking to Xander is the vanished one. Yep. So he has to talk to Xander to get the to find his armor. Okay. So the demi-god needs the forge for his weapon. Dragon Slayer needs the forge for her weapon. The vanished one needs his armor. Needs to learn of his armor. Yeah, let's go with about. The doomed one, I don't think. Yeah, the doomed one just needs to see the fates. We don't have a haunted one. The gifted one. Wow, the gifted one gets a whole lot of nothing during. So yeah, so the gifted one's kind of interesting. The gifted one doesn't get to actually learn anything about stuff just yet. Why is this weird? That's odd. There's negative left margin or something. I don't know. Yeah, the gifted one just kind of has the locket that tells them stuff, which is interesting. We don't have a lost one. We have a Dragon Slayer. The cursed one needs to meet Damon. The cursed one needs to meet Damon. So the Dragon Slayer is Alaris. The demigod is Remir. The vanished one is Orsino, and the cursed one is Scorpius. So the two of them need to go to each of these places. I don't know if the demigod knows he needs the forge. He might not realize that he needs the forge to craft the item. Let's see if that was in the magic item. Hammer. Pythor's hammer. Yeah, no, it does not. Main purpose is to forge magical weapons and armor. Let's look at the. Okay, so let's look at what he knows about his epic path. Demigod. Find your mother. Defeat Pythor's greatest foe. Got it. Finish building Pythor's greatest weapon. Okay, so that's all he has to do. So let's look at running the epic paths. The demigod. So Vulcan was supposed to tell him that they will only be able to forge Pythor's unfinished weapon using the Mithral Forge. Cool. So Vulcan was supposed to tell him that, and I forgot to have him tell him. So they might go to the Necropolis. They might go to the Mithral Mines. Fortunately, I've already prepped half of the Necropolis. I think. Did I? I think I prepped the way there. No. No, I kind of didn't. Woof. I could have sworn I prepped this. So I do remember having to like change the names of the Oathsworn. Yikes. So it's really just the two places that they're likely to want to go. But I think the session's going to start out. They want to get an info dump. I kind of prepped the maze. I feel like I kind of prepped the Necropolis. Like I talked about the maze and how it was terrible. Like that's a thing I remember doing. Like I talked about this maze and how it was just completely stupid and worthless. But I don't remember prepping like Damon, who is probably the most important part of the Necropolis. Like this map is, you know, it's familiar to me, but that's mostly I think just because I skimmed the whole adventure. I do remember the Necropolis being hilariously deadly, like clay golems, mercury traps. Yeah, like just lots of yikes. I also remember not being sure what consecrated. Like I know that this tomb is consecrated, so either of them will afflict you with Curse of the Grave Robber, but I don't remember how the players can tell whether or not a tomb is consecrated. I don't know. It's kind of weird. So one of the things is that Adonis is not actually here. So that's interesting because our vanished one is Adonis. So that's cool. If someone tries to pass without payment, Damon will use his magic to prevent them from crossing. Initially, he'll only use Wall of Force, but he will also use non-lethal spells and powers such as Hold Person and Paralyzing Touch if necessary. He will fight to the death if threatened. Yeah. Yikes. Kill them. If the cursed one is present, Damon recognizes them and gives them a lost family heirloom, a gem of brightness. He also tells them they must seek the Lotus Switch. There's so much just like, hey, sorry, I don't have what you need. Go see this guy. Yeah, let's prep the Mithral Forge. So the history of the Forge was that forever ago, Lutheria had the Fates make a Cerberus. Cerberus ate the dwarves, and then it started spawning a whole lot of death dogs, and then the Dragon Lords tried to retake it and failed repeatedly. They gave up. Several centuries, the Hound watched over the ruined forge, but a decade ago, some primordial thing from the depths of the Underdark emerged and killed it. The Death Dogs remained in the mine, but without anything to direct them, they retreated into the lower depths, and troglodytes crept into the upper levels. I do remember. I do remember prepping this. I remember prepping the beginning of the mines. So you know, there's the abandoned road, and then at some point on the road there, the centaurs surround them but don't attack them. Yeah, your princess in another castle. Your epic path is on another continent. Eat a dick. Hukar warns them they should beware because troglodytes dwell there, emerging at night to hunt for food. Two of his kin fell into the clutches of the foul creatures, and he wants them back. And I wrote down that Hukar's reward is the potions of invulnerability. So let's just get that straight. And yes, I flip-flop between dash and asterisk. So I will leave these in my notes here, just in case the players are wondering, like, where should we go first? They seem to be very afraid of the Necropolis, so I think they might want to put that off until they're stronger. But who knows? I think I'm getting ahead of myself, though, because so one thing that that is vaguely important. So we did do this this port, but we didn't do this port. The king declares a full week of celebration in Astoria in honor of the heroes. The heroes may choose to stay and enjoy the week's celebrations. There will be plays at the public theater they can participate in, as well as much feasting and drinking. If Kyra is present, she encourages the party to press on with their labors. They shouldn't be afraid of the Necropolis. It's a fun spot. I mean, come on. What the fuck? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Princes of the Apocalypse? Is that what you're reference? I don't know. But yeah, there's a whole week of partying. Pythor declares a whole week of partying for Honora. Yeah. And the other night we were joking about while I was getting hammered. I can't remember the last time I was getting hammered. I don't know what you're talking about. Mithral Forge. Great Falls of Archelon. Yeah, so there's a... Yeah, so I remember this. There's a secret pathway, but there's no regular pathway. Because the regular pathway is, like, collapsed or something. So we've got Mithral Mines. Yeah, okay. So I just kind of... Will Chris and Luke be armed and armored by tomorrow? Yes, they will. I believe Luke already is, and Chris already has at least one arm. I think he just has to go back for the second one. So yes, they will. So I kind of left it off with having prepped their approach to the mines, and then I was like, oh, okay, it's a dungeon complex. Whatever. You make updates tonight? Sweet. Love you too, baby. So, one thing that I wanted to do is check out wish lists, because I know that there was a bunch of magic items here. Mithril breastplate, Mithril ring mount, adamantine short sword, adamantine spear. I was on with Bayless and Steph left me alone while I was still drinking or joking about Prince of the Apocalypse. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no memory of this. Maybe I did get drunk. Doubtful. Anyway, a couple weeks ago. That's not the other night, Z. That's not the other night. That's a couple weeks. 4 troglodytes. All right, so yeah, so troglodyte caves. So we got any night not tonight is the other night. Okay, sure, why not? Troglodytes here, foul creatures came up from the deep regions of the Underdark, far below the sunlit lands of Thylea. They were driven to the surface by the same primordial creature that killed the Cerberus Hound. It'd be really cool if you told me what that creature was. Now they hunt for food on the surface at night. While they dine mainly on fish, they consider the tortured flesh of centaurs and civilized folk to be delicacies. Hierarchy of troglodytes is determined by strength. Troglodyte brutes taking all the choicest meats. Brutes usually stay in the warrens, forcing their weaker kindred to do the hunting. Troglodytes like to attack by stealth using their chameleon skin to merge into the walls of Mithral Mines. Typically, one troglodyte will grapple a victim at the start of combat so that the victim's companions have to choose to abandon their friend if they flee. Okay, if the troglodytes manage to defeat the heroes, they won't kill them, but instead bring them to their king. The heroes will awaken with all the effects of a short rest, but with none of their weapons. Good thing they've already fought with no weapons and managed just fine. Cave entrance is guarded by 4 troglodytes. They press up against the sides of the tunnel and have advantage on stealth checks due to chameleon trait. This belies a thorough misunderstanding of how stealth works, because this feature does not allow you to hide in plain sight. It just gives you advantage on stealth checks made to hide. That's all it does. So if they're trying to hide right at this intersection, as soon as anyone gets to the intersection, they will immediately see them. That's how stealth works in 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. That said, fuck that noise. They're gonna hide in plain sight by just being scaly, ugly motherfuckers that chameleon onto the wall. Yeah, I know, no, but chameleon. But if you read the feature, it does not allow them to it does not allow them to hide despite line of sight. I'm going to let them anyway, because it's cool. But in case you were wondering, that don't work like that. Can we talk about how the waterfall is just a buttload of rings on top of one another? It's just a lot of rings, just circles. Just circles. It's just circles. I'm sure an artist poured hours into that, but it's just kind of cute. I have a feeling this is going to be a very boring dungeon crawl. Just in general, just sort of troglodytes, and then fight some 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 troglodytes, and then maybe fight a death dog. So the question is, what the hell do we do to make this suck less? And I think the way that we make this suck less is we turn it into a hallway fight. Not boring, not with all the comments. Good point. Amber started a war. So yeah, but I think the way that we make this interesting is let's check if troglodytes. Let's check if they have. Tell me brute is a thing that exists in this book. Monsters. There he is. Troglodyte brute. I don't know why he's a non-player character, so that's a silly place for that. So Troglodyte Brute is their own homebrew stat block, which is frustrating. So what's the difference? They got more armor, more hit points, way higher to hit, better damage. Yeah, that's better stealth. Same. Their stench is 10 feet. That's cool. Higher DC. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, and they get triple. Yeah, triple attack, just like the other one. This is not a CR1 creature. Triple attack, averages 6 damage a hit, plus 7 to hit. That's not CR1. That's CR2, easily. Arguably CR3. Main adds are probably CR4, even though they use daggers. Nah, main adds are probably CR3, but these guys are definitely also CR3. Yeah, so cool. These guys are at least CR2, but probably CR3. So let's leave that open. They don't have any ranged attacks, and I don't know if it makes much sense for them to have ranged attacks. They kind of just look like, physiologically, they look like the kind of people who would jump on top of you and then stab you with their big long finger. So that claw should probably do piercing damage, real talk. They got alligator jaws. So I kind of want to just play these guys as alligator folk. And I know that's lizard folk, but I don't think there's going to be any lizard folk in... whoops, I'm typing in the wrong window. Stop that. Lizard folk also does not have ranged weapons. So I'm going to give them blowguns. That's a thing that I'm going to give them. They got blowguns. They do 1 piercing damage. That's awesome. Seriously? Seriously? How is it that expensive? What? Why? Alright, we're going to give them blowguns, but they're going to be effectively darts. This is getting really annoying. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to make this a hallway fight. So at every step of the way, they're going to attract more attention, and then the troglodytes are going to pour out into the hallway and just keep throwing ranged attacks at them until the players engage them in melee, at which point they switch to melee, and then they, since the players had to get into melee, they attract more attention from people even further away. So what I'm going to do is I am going to drop their tokens onto this, boop. Grab them tokens. Womp. And this should be Fog of War. So I'm going to grab their tokens, drop them here. They can pick their marching order or whatever. But what I am going to do is I'm going to give them the 30-foot aura that they can't see. And essentially anything that enters that aura, I mean obviously not like this guy's in the aura, but that's not going to count. Anything that's in the aura, if they're fighting, is going to get aggroed. So if they're here, they're fighting here, so they're going to aggro these guys. They'll rush out into the hall. As soon as someone gets into melee, they aggro these guys and these guys. They rush up to here to fight these guys. They aggro this room. These guys run out to here. They move up here. They aggro these guys. And then there's just direct line of sight here, so the Troglodyte King's going to attack them then. So, What in the hell is a troglodyte king? Let's find out. Shift double click, character sheet. Oh, he's just a brute. Yeah, he's just a brute. That's cool. So we got a whole buttload of broodlings over here. That's boring. One thing that's going to be absolutely nightmarish is, watch this, if I set him to 15 out of 30 health. Oh, cool. The other brutes didn't get damaged. Yeah, he's actually not tied. Unfortunately, guarantee, yep, they decided that players should be able to see health bars for no good reason. So that's frustrating as hell. You can see his name too. That's Jesus. Yeah, I don't know why they decided to do that. But yeah, so I'm gonna throw this aura on people. Players won't be able to see it. In fact, players can't see anything right now because it's Fog of War. Let's reveal some Fog of War area, and we'll just do big ol' this. It keeps doing that. Like I have to switch to polygon then back. So we're gonna reveal a big ol' this and a big ol' this. Cool. Change one monster of each type and then copy paste. That would be smart. Yeah, that'd be the smart thing to do. If I'm gonna do that, I should replace their token too. Is there a way to do that? Like, can I replace the image for a token? Roll 20, replace token image. How to change image on a token? Top right of the sheet, press edit. Okay, let's try that. Character sheet, edit. Remove. This might work. So I'm gonna go to 5e tools and grab a troglodyte token because there's no troglodyte. There's no art for the troglodytes because it is not SRD content, or it is SRD content, but they're not allowed to use SRD tokens. So let's save that. I don't want a WebP, I want a pung. And then we'll go back to roll 20. Use selected token. Okay. Downloads. Troglodyte. Slap that bitch in there. Cool, 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 cool. So let's shrink you down to 1 square instead of several. And you select a token. Cool. So delete and then paste. And we're doing it. We're doing it. Alright, delete these. Paste, paste, paste. Delete you, paste. Delete you, paste. Delete you, paste. So fortunately they did me a big favor. There are some troglodytes that are just troglodyte, and other troglodytes that are troglodyte brutes. So I kind of need different art for the... No, you know what? The brutes are going to get art, and the regular troglodytes are not. So let's... Are you really on the GM layer? Okay, well let's delete you and throw some troglodytes. And then back to the token layer. I don't know why they're on GM layer. Back to you, paste you. Alright, so the brutes now have art and the regular troglodytes do not. That's going to make it really easy for me to have the brutes run up to melee the players while the rest of them just shoot at them with blowguns, which I'm going to say are statistically darts, which are way more effective than blowguns for some fucking reason. They do D4 piercing instead of 1. Very odd. I'm very confused. Real talk, Ramir is probably going to take the lead. Ramir is going to have ass loads of AC, and Ramir is going to not take damage very much, if at all. Is that on the GM layer? Yeah, it's on the GM layer. Alright. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some polygon reveal. and just give them a little bit more than that, just to start. Because like by the time they're there, they would be able to see, like, not quite, but like if I just grab, like if I do, let's do snap to corner. I mean, yeah. Actually, this is a cliff. This goes down. So it's the white that I'm really worried about. So yeah, like he can actually see like all the way up to here. So I'm going to reveal all that. Gonna reveal it all. Whoops. Gonna make this a little more convex. Over here, and then over here, and then over here, and then over here. Alright, so now that's what the players can see. That, oh, God damn it. It's okay, you can do it. Alright, so the players can see, like, there's a whole waterfall, and there's like a tunnel on the left. So let's grab this dude, see what he can see. Yeah, so, you know, you're behind a waterfall, you're making your way downtown, walking fast. So yeah, that's my plan for the whole dungeon. Like that's it. So let's real quick just read what other than troglodytes are in here. So we've got the dudes at the fork tunnel. They're gonna hide. These dudes, the foragers. Stink wafts up from below. I don't really understand that. I guess it goes down. It's kind of weird. It says there's 3 troglodytes in the brute, so I guess I'll wham. So that's cool. Encounter each time they travel through the tunnel, there's a 1 in 6 chance they encounter a band of 2d4 plus 2 troglodytes led by a brute. Okay. That. What? Like, my players are not going to go through here very often. Like, they might happen to just go right, but I find it much more likely that they fight these guys, and then they fight these guys, and then they fight these guys, and then they fight these guys, and it's just like this extended, like, murder fest. So that's going to be cool. So... Alright, so, yeah, alright. What are we doing here? Cave entrance, tunnel of descent into the earth. Okay, cool. Out of the darkness rises a stench worse than anything you've ever known. The shrieking sound from deep within the caves suddenly ceases. There's a shrieking sound? Okay, I should read aloud text. Not sure if you want to toss together a somewhat troglodyte brute token. I don't hate it. Needs a border. Let's give it a border. I can do that. There's a thing I do. Actually, wait, I have Odyssey tokens. I got downloaded a buttload of tokens. Did I get troglodytes? Trog. No, of course not. Oh, it has a border. Needs a better border. How big is this? Nope. Image canvas size, 256 square. Alright. Odyssey. Tokens. Here's my token border. Layer. Scale layer to about. Nope, wrong layer. This one. Layer. Scale layer. Let's go 800. Image to fit canvas to layers. It looks good. That's really blurry, but it'll look fine at like regular size. And it's even transparency. Yeah, I barely cut anything off. Look at me. So let's overwrite it. Discard. These in downloads. Let's throw you in here. God damn it, roll 20. Uploading file. Yeah, I knew he'd be huge. It's because I made him like 900 square. Alright, so now I gotta do some dumb shit. So, go to the character sheet. No, not the token. Character sheet. There's no character sheet here. Shit. This guy. What happened to the character sheet? God damn it. Troglodyte. Alright, so we got Troglodyte Brute. Open the character sheet, edit it. Default token, remove. Yes, delete. And then select that guy, use selected token. Cool, that's the Brute. Now, drag the Brute into here. Delete you, place you. You are a Brute. You have a character sheet? No. What the hell? What have I done? Alright, well, I'm not getting character sheets. You can give me the original images of the creature. Nah, that's fine. What the fuck? No, I want this guy. Alright, so I'm gonna move this guy off to the side because he's gonna be a troglodyte. 1, 2, 3. Do they have HP on the new tokens? No. The new tokens are barely tokens, that's why. So, whatever. I don't know why these two are hidden, but I guess I'll leave the new ones hidden. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I don't care. So this guy, yeah, like they don't have anything. Like I copy pasted. I thought it would bring the character sheet with it, but it decided to don't. So these are all broodlings, so those don't get them. So this guy is a troglodyte. This guy, and I'm not really upset about the fact that they don't have HP. I'm really not. They have so little HP that they'll probably die in 1, maybe 2 hits anyway. So. I just want to make sure my things have like art so I can differentiate them, because that's cool for players. Alright, I got the whole this area has art now. Yay. The king, there's no king art. That's fine, don't care. Death dog, cockatrice, death dogs, cockatrices. Death dogs, cockatrices. Death dogs. Death dog? Is that a death dog? Okay. Alright. We're done here. Alright, so that's set up. So let's start reading some stuff. Natural tunnel runs for 50 feet at a slight incline. Is that down or up? I'm gonna say down. Floor is wet and moss grows along the walls and ceiling. The floor is well used, covered in the tracks of foul creatures from the waterfall. The tunnel eventually forks. To the left, the tunnel continues into a network of natural caves. A terrible stench comes from this direction, along with echoing shrieks of pain and horror. To the right, the tunnel becomes a stonework passageway. Why does the shrieking stop? Cave entrance is guarded by 4 troglodytes. Advantage on the stealth checks through the chameleon trait. Every 6 hours, the guards are replaced by 4 new troglodytes from deeper in the caves. This is area 3, so they're here. Okay, so they're hiding here. This description the tunnel event, so this should be here. You can't see what happens left or right. I'm also not sure what's up with, like, what is this? I guess I'll find out. This map's kind of confusing. Shrieking from deep within the cave suddenly ceases. Why? Why does it cease? You're not going to tell me why it stops? That'd be useful. Okay, he'll die within 5 rounds unless healed. So we're gonna... Ouch. Cries out with pain, but the shrieking stopped. It's because they killed the guy? Is that what happened? Partially burnt body of a centaur spitted over the pit. Okay. Did he just fall unconscious from smoke inhalation and whatnot? This is very weirdly written. 5. The area seems to be a den of sorts. Yeah, okay. Straw mats lie along the edges of the cave, and they're covered in filth. The floor is littered with the bones of humans, centaurs, and other creatures. Okay, this cluster of tunnels and caves are where most of the troglodytes dwell. Normally the resting place for dozens of creatures, but when the heroes arrive, most of them are elsewhere. Okay. If they hear them coming, they'll hide along the walls or in their own filth on the floors, preparing an ambush as the heroes investigate. Okay, so they will wait to ambush them. This doesn't make any sense. Like, these caves are so small that it would literally just be wave after wave after wave of enemies. There's just really nothing else makes sense. Oh wow, headband of intellect. That's neato. Can anyone use that? Is that useful for anyone in our group? I mean, it's always good. Brood Den. Remir, yeah, I mean, he's an artificer, but I think he already has 18 in, so I don't think it makes a difference. And D&D Beyond's dumb. It always sorts by oldest, but then I have to switch. Alright. So let's look at Remir. I think since we just hit level 4, I think Remir probably bumped his int to 18, which means the headband does nothing. Yep, he has 18 int. So, yeah, not really useful for much of anyone. He's the only int-based character. That's not true. Orsino is an int warlock. So let's take a look at Orsino, because he's an int warlock, if I recall correctly. And he's got 16 int, so that's not worthless. It does give him a +1. Yeah, that's vaguely useful. Sure, why not? Alternatively, give it to someone with 8 int, and now they get 19. So, yeah, so Ep.6, much colder than the previous areas. Troglodytes, Troglodyte Brute, goes to the Underdark. Cool. 7, Brood Den. As you enter this cave, the hideous stench somehow grows even worse. 3 large troglodytes squat in the center of the cave from their hooks. These are the brood mothers for a litter of more than a dozen young. Broodlings are currently tearing their weakest sibling limb from limb as it squeals in terror. Awesome. There are 12 broodlings, 8 AC, 1 hit point. They hiss the heroes, but they do not attack. If approached, they'll try to bite the heroes. Such heroes must make a dex save or suffer 1 piercing damage and become poisoned. No con save. No con save versus poison. If the broodlings are not slain, they'll grow into adult troglodytes within a week. Wow. Okay. Darkened pit gapes. In the center of the chamber, sides of the pit are coated with wretched streaks of black and brown. You choke in the stench which burns your eyes and nostrils. There's so much stuff here, and none of them are going to find it. It says none of these items radiate magic, which is total horseshit, because Mithral armor is a magic item. So if they detect magic, they will find the Mithral armor. This is just them trying to dick them over. So, yeah. Anyone who touches the filth automatically fails at any stealth-based activity until they have a bath. Cute. Rough-hewn stone steps that rise up to a platform at the far end. So I'm going to look up troglodyte. We're going to look up troglodytes. See if there's like a bigger troglodyte. Armored troglodyte? That's probably literally just Dungeons of the Mad Mage. Yep. It just has AC. Here we go. Champion of Laugzed. CR3. Acid Spray. Sick. Alright, so here's the king. King's a champion. Easy enough. This thing is going to be an absolute shit stomp, though. Wears a golden circlet, flanked by several others of his kind. He smiles wickedly and addresses you in your language. How dost thou, sweetlings? He's had it for over a century. How old is this dude? He has no one worth talking to. When the heroes arrive, he is eager to engage them in conversation. The king is able to speak common tongue, but he does so in an unusual manner. Caliban from Shakespeare's The Tempest is good inspiration for a style of speech. Good thing I read that, or saw it, or have any experience with The Tempest. Cool. Golden Man taught me language, and my prophet on't is I know how to curse. Probably say they don't really make magic because they're under 5 feet of refuse. No, I think they said they don't radiate magic because the people who wrote it just wanted to be dicks. They would still radiate. It's just, if that was the rationale, then they would have said that. So, yeah. Proposing a game of riddles. Thou makest me merry, I am full of pleasure, let us play a game. Prithee, tread softly, that my anger shall not be unleashed upon thee. Shouting encouragement to his brutes during out, Lo, lo, again, bite them to death, I prithee. Trying to help them? I don't know, I said it's going to radiate magic. No, they absolutely radiate magic. No, the people who wrote this book said none of these items radiate magic because they're assholes. Or they're trying to be assholes. I don't think they are assholes. He moans about the unfairness of his predicament and asks them, oh my god. Evil to the core and plans to eat the party no matter the outcome of the game. However, he desperately wishes to test his enhanced intellect against the heroes, so he would prefer to outsmart them. What becometh harder to catch the faster that thou runneth? What dost thou breaketh every time thou speaketh? What runs but never walks, has mouths but never talks, has heads but never weeps, and has beds but never sleeps. That's cute. 2 brutes and a trog. Oh, he's a brute with maximum hit points at 19 in. He carries a mithril ingot as a royal scepter. Neat. Scepter's worth 500 GP. Yeah. Nothing interesting about this sub-dungeon at all, really. I'm not impressed. It's some caves with some dudes in it, and we're going to run it straight. We're going to run it as a fight. The king's going to keep... let's say these guys move, the brood mothers will stay at the entrance to the brood caves. His guards will move here, and then if they get past even these guys will run out and fight them. But like these guys will stay behind, stay out of sight, and then if the players get this far, the king will call, "Come, come, prithee, let us speak." Yeah, whatever the hell he says. How dost thou, sweetlings? Yeah, the king will just be like, yo, stop killing my dudes. What's up? And then, we can actually have a reasonable fight with, like, actual, number of people. Cockatrice pens. There's a cockatrice. Wow. Broken entryway. Ahead of you, the natural passage breaks into a tunnel of what looks to be dwarven construction. Stone bridge crosses overhead, and a narrow 5-foot wide ledge leads up to it. What? Huh? How do you get that? Where do you see a ledge? What is... So I get the bridge. There's a bridge over the tunnel. You got it. I under... Death Dog awakens from its petrification 10 minutes after the heroes arrive. Is that a thing that... is that a thing cockatrices can do? Temporary petrification? No, it is. That's cool. 24 hours. That's cool. Did not know that. Good to know. 10 minutes after the heroes arrive. This great chamber seems to have been used as a pen for some sort of animals, but whatever's here has... I do not understand the bridge, the ledge. I don't get that. There's a bridge, 5 feet wide, and the bridge is, let's say, 8 feet overhead. I don't understand. Oh, so there's still a shitload of Mithral Mantine here. It's just the Cerberus killed the dwarves, and they're just like, I don't want it anymore. So that's something they can learn from the dwarves in the Dragon Shrine, or the Dragon's Tooth. Mines are still full of ores. Just Cerberus happened. Three-headed dog happened. Okay, so there's a cockatrice in this room, just one, and then there's a death dog, petrification. For a minute, pens are used by the troglodytes to keep a flock of cockatrices. The troglodyte king enjoys breeding them. Sometimes he serves a cooked cockatrice to honored guests. A few days ago, the death dogs started exploring the upper layers, and they killed the troglodytes in the room, but one of the troglodytes let the cockatrice loose as a last resort. No problem, Danny. No worries. I just finished prepping, quite frankly, the weakest bit of dungeon writing. Anyway, no, it's fine. You didn't miss anything good. There's a dungeon full of troglodytes, and that's about it. And I wish that I had just left it that and run it as written instead of trying to read it and improve it, because woof. So 11. 12. Alright, so they let the cockatrices loose. Cockatrices ran amok. Some were eaten by the death dogs, while others used their power to petrify the beasts. The room looks like the scene of a recent battle. This guy over here. There are several half-eaten troglodyte corpses in one corner. 3 statues of 2-headed dogs stand at the center of the room. There are also several rotting wooden racks that might have once been used for weapons and armor. So after the second time the players get caught by a death dog statue, they are going to destroy every death dog statue they come across. That's pretty obvious. They awaken one at a time every 2 rounds. Cool. Several rotting wooden racks that might have been used for weapons and armor. Yeah, okay. Storage room. One storage room. Filled with rotting sacks and broken crates. Cool. Done. Area 14. So this is the coolest fucking area in the dungeon, because it's got a big-ass fucking dead-ass Cerberus. And that's real cool. I'm okay with this. So now just a tiny bit. 14. Massive halls supported by a series of pillars, many of which have been broken. The corpse of a gargantuan 3-headed dog is splayed out in the center of the room. Several 2-headed hounds chew away at the flesh of this rotting corpse. Skeletal remains of dwarves are scattered everywhere. There are 3 death dogs in this room. They attack and fight to the death. So one thing I do, dwarves want the skulls of their fallen mates. It is a dead-ass Cerberus, yes. Cerberus appears to have been killed by something massive, which must have come up from the deep shaft. One of the dwarven skeletons wears a Mithral chain shirt. Their skull, and then there's 25 skeletons. Their skulls will be returned to the dwarves. The Dragon's Tooth for proper burial. Dwarven quarters, beds. Oh, okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Room 1, 2, 3. Got it. Sack buried underneath rotting furniture. Nothing of value. Dwarven skeleton has a ring with an M. It's cool. Rotting bunk beds and chests make it obvious its chamber was a living quarter of sort. Entrance hall, 16. So this was the original entrance. It's blocked by many tons. When the Mithral deposits were first discovered, I saw little reason to celebrate. They do have the potential to leave here with so much money. I mean, 25 skulls. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Is that 1 head and 3 asses? No, I think it's 3 heads and 1 ass, but I think you're referring to an ass Cerberus. Yes, I think an ass Cerberus would have 3 asses and 1 head. Yikes. When the Mithral deposits were first discovered, I saw little reason to celebrate. It was not until I first held a Mithral weapon that I appreciated the ingenuity of Vulcan and his dwarven smiths. Rezon Phobos, Dragonlord. The deep shaft. Alright, now we're getting, now hopefully we're getting to the really cool part of this, the Mithral Mines. So we got a big ol' shaft. Big ol' fucking shaft. Stonework tunnel ends the precipice of a huge natural rift in the earth. The rocky ceiling is only 20 feet above you, but the rift drops away into a fathomless black depth. Veins of silvery ore can be seen on the sides of the shaft. Ancient mining equipment lines the walls, but the wooden platforms and walkways are rotten and unusable. Chains are attached to the ceiling of the shaft in a pulley system that is used to lift ore from the depths. Many of the chains are rusted and many have broken. The area around you has been scored by gouges in the stone as if some giant claw once reached out of the pit. Yeah, you got my yike for the day. There's nothing living here, but has an ominous feel to it. Okay, it used to be wooden platforms that allowed mine Mithral Adamantine. They're gone. Entrance to the second level, 100 feet down the shaft. The only way to reach it is to climb the sheer face of the shaft. 3 successful athletics checks. Someone who manages could use pythons and rope. Great and easier path for everyone else. Goes down for a mile, becoming increasingly hot before ending in a huge cavern filled with noxious gas. Falling to the bottom, inflicts 70 bludgeoning damage. Every round spent in the gas-filled cavern. Con save versus poison. An entrance to the Underdark, which empties into a lake of magma. Cool. You don't want to fall. Alright, let's go to the next area. Right? Oh, elevator. Yeah, elevator is probably a better way to get down. So let's go to the next area. So elevators over here. Elevators are cool. Mithral Mines lower. Let's go to the elevator. Some sort of dwarven elevator. It's a 10-foot metal cube crafted from bronze with leering dragon heads engraved into the walls. Dragons are depicted with snarling mouths. Leads down 100 feet to the Mithral Forge area, but it's deadly to anyone who doesn't know the required password. The password is dragon. The Troglodyte King knows this. The elevator is an elaborate and deadly fire trap. Jesus. Oh, Jay Miller following along in the book because he has one. He won the monthly giveaway. So we sent him a copy of Odyssey of the Dragonlords. So if you wanna win some free stuff, enter a monthly giveaway. You can spend 5,000 channel points to enter the giveaway. This month's giveaway is a copy of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden. Comes out September 15th. So if you win on September 1st when we do our drawing, I think September 1st is the day we stream. September 1st is not a day we stream, so we'll probably do it on the 2nd or the 5th if we don't remember on the 2nd. If we pick you as the winner, then we'll pre-order you a copy of Rime of the Frost Maiden. So, triggering the trap. Inside the elevator is the lever to activate it. Once engaged, the elevator begins to descend. Do you just say dragon? Can be disabled by speaking the command word at any time, or by jamming the mouths of the dragons to prevent the flames from coming through. If the dragon heads are jammed, they glow fiery red and the heat is intense. You can pull the lever to take the elevator back up. Descending again will restart the trap mechanism. Cool. In the second round, all heroes inside must roll for initiative. On initiative count 20 of the second round. Black oil is pumped into the room from the mouths of the dragon heads on top of the elevator. Third round, the roar of flames can be heard from below, and oil continues to be pumped into the room. Okay. On initiative count 10, flames pour through the mouths, igniting the oil. Take 66 fire damage at the end of the fourth round and the fifth round. Damage reduced by 2d6 if the oil was blocked before initiative count 10 of round 3. Wow. That's complicated. But you're looking at 12d6 fire damage, which is enough to knock most of these guys unconscious. Like, max HP 27. That's, well, he has the least. It's 27, 31, and 35 are our max HPs. 12d6 is average 42. So, yeah, that's gonna be a yikes. That could do a lot of damage if they're not careful. Trap can be disabled. Yep. Alright, Mithral Forge. Armory. Cool, cool, cool. Room is lined with iron racks for holding weapons and armor. Almost all the racks have been tipped over. The only weapons and armor that remain are broken or corroded. Bones and refuse lay in piles in the corners of the room. The armory was ransacked long ago, and all that remains is rotten wood, refuse, bones, and broken equipment. The armor and weapons are of exquisite make, but they have been rendered useless by centuries of neglect. There is a Mithral Zephos +1 buried under the refuse. Neat. That's not a thing. You can't have a Mithral +1. That's not a... Okay. That's cool. It's neat. Can be located with a perception check or detect magic. Lava pool. Room dominated by a large circular vat. So the one thing that I do want to do is I want to replace some of these magic items in here with some things off of my players' wish lists. So if there's something on their wish list that I can just say is made out of Mithral, cool beans. I'll have to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have a wish list from Luke. That's fine. Luke makes his own magic items because he's an artificer. I need to go to the bathroom. So I'm going to be right back. I'm going to run an ad, and I'll be back in a few minutes. I have returned. Sorry to keep you waiting. Armory, yeah, so magic items, that's what I was doing. So let's go to, bag of holding. Do you think I can make a bag of holding out of Mithral? Drift globe, manual quickness of action, no. Rod of the Pact Keeper, shield of warning, yeah. Illusionist bracers, lol, no. Belt of giant strength, definitely not happening, because that is, what's his face? Adamantine armor, that's something that Senna wants, okay. Pipes of haunting, coiling grasp to Faklukan Bandor, Wand of Magic Missile, Amulet of Health, Voyager, jeez. These people predominantly just want, like, ridiculously powerful stuff. What do horseshoes of speed do? Do they just, like, increase your walking speed by 30 feet? Holy shit. I hate weapons of warning. Yeah, not a huge fan of weapon of warning. I like Sentinel Shield. Sentinel Shield's fine, because it just gives you advantage on perception, which gives you a +5 to passive perception. It doesn't make it impossible to be, it doesn't make it impossible for your entire party to be surprised. If you don't want to be surprised, take the alert feat. Weapon of warning should not be an uncommon magic item. I agree. I don't hate Drift Globe, personally. None of my players use weapons. Yeah, like, weapon of warning is just... Oh, Sentinel Shield. Yeah, Sentinel Shield would be a little overkill for Gramps. You already have 21 passive. Anything over 20 passive, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, like you see the stuff. You see all the things. Oh, 22. Cool. Why 22? Plus, you got 5 from Observant, 4 from Wisdom. Oh, your proficiency just went up. I said it before it appeared on screen. Check the VOD. So yeah, I Drift Globe, maybe. You know, they can find it in here. Maybe an alchemy jug or an amulet of the drunkard. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I want to give them horseshoes of speed. Horseshoes of speed are very clearly designed to be on a horse. Like, plus 30 feet move speed is pretty fucking cool for a horse. It is absolutely hilariously busted for a hooved PC. I could just say that since you're only wearing 2 of them, you only get plus 15. That would be funny. But then Remir is gonna be like, well, I can put all 4 of them on, so I can get plus 30. That'd be silly. Also, why would they have horseshoes down in the mines? That doesn't make any sense. So anyway, Mithral Zephos. Maybe we'll replace it. Lava pool. Room is dominated by a large circular vat of molten lava in the center. Cool. Something is swimming beneath the bubbling magma. An ornate bronze sphere stands close to the lava pool. The sphere is supported by 4 legs and has a spout that faces toward the lava. Okay. Death dogs don't do anything except growl at you unless you try to touch the bronze sphere. Alright, I'm learning some stuff. The Forge Keeper is a salamander. She swims in the lava pool and willing to talk to the hero. She explains the bronze device has been configured to keep her from escaping by blasting the area with cold unless it's disabled. It was designed by the dwarves who originally built the Forge. Forge Keeper is aware of the history of the entire place, is willing to share information with the hero's promise to disable the sphere. She also knows the password to the elevator. If she leaves the pool before the sphere is deactivated, it makes a clicking noise, and anyone in the room is struck by the effect of a cone of cold spell for 8d8 cold damage. Yeah, I mean, you didn't repeats every 5 rounds until the bronze device is disabled. Device can be disabled by smashing the sphere, but then it hits you anyway. Yeah. Negotiating with Forge Keeper will bring the attention of the young Cerberus Hound in the other room. Yeah, there's a Cerberus, a Cerberus. Hound will enter the room and attack with the Death Dogs. Once freed, the Forge Keeper thanks the heroes. She's been imprisoned for centuries and fosters a burning hatred for all dwarves. She'll treat dwarves in the party with hostility. We don't have any. Dwarves summoned her to the mortal world and then bound her within her forge. She not only powered the forge, but also used her skills as a metalsmith to help the god Vulcan craft many powerful Mithral and adamantine items. She must remain for 5 centuries unless the contract that bound her is destroyed. She thinks the tablet bearing the contract is kept in the blast furnace. Area 21. She knows how to restart the forge and is willing to do so if the party agrees to release her from her contract. The heroes give the forge keeper the contract, she'll melt it. However, instead of immediately returning to the plane of fire, she'll remain for a year and forge items for the heroes. Cool. The heroes can try to coerce the forge keeper with the contract tablet, but the results are always the same. Okay. Dead blast furnace. 4 large stone vats are lined up against the wall. Spouts extend from the walls. At the center of the room is a 3-foot wide circular hole. Mithral roller is melted down into ingots. Guarded by a young Cerberus, intelligent enough to hold conversation with the heroes. He is a servant of Lutheria, the mistress of death. Hound's mother was killed a few years ago. Yep. He took her place by devouring a half-dozen of his brothers and sisters. Cute. 56 platinum, 125 gold, 389 silver. Also an adamantine trident, 6 adamantine javelins. Holy shit, there's so many adamantine weapons here. The rune tablet keeps the forge master bound in the Mithral Mine as part of this treasure hoard. Cool. Only the forge keeper can awaken the forge once the Cerberus hound is defeated. She tells the heroes to wait and slithers down a hole in the floor. 5 rounds later, she returns from the same hole. Lava bubbles from the hole and begins to flow in rivulets through the room. Dwarven elevator activates. Multiple levers throughout the area which can... Wait. The Dwarven elevator? What? Eh? Eh? Okay. Why does the elevator activate? It's really weird. Tip a cauldron of molten lava or cause jets of fire to blow out from vents. Choose 2 spaces on the map. Spaces are where cauldrons will dump lava, doing Ep.6. Okay. Vents of fire will erupt. Okay. Very odd. Very odd. I guess this is for players. Like it looks like this is for players to like fight the troglodyte horde. 1 minute after she awakens the forge, noises can be heard from the direction of the elevator. Sounds similar to that made by a strange and disgusting beast that came to visit her a year ago. King of the troglodytes, Troglodytes. I got a typo here. She gave him the password to the elevator. At this point, the heroes will roll for initiative. An initiative countdown in the first round. Elevator door opens at a dozen troglodytes. 4 brutes and the king emerge. King will send 4 stealth troglodytes to scout out ahead of them. He plans to kill all the heroes. Forge keeper provides hints as to how the party can use the forge's many traps against filthy creatures. That's not gonna be a thing. I don't understand how you would. That doesn't make any sense. Secret dock. Chamber leads to a secret dock behind the Great Falls. Oh, that's neat. Just like lower. Stone dock extends behind the thundering waterfall. The room is filled with rotting sacks, barrels, and boxes. There is an ornate bronze lever on the far side of the room. The room is a dock that's large enough for most ships. Huh? Oh. Stonework dam at the top of the river that creates a gap in the waterfall. Cool. You can use this lever to dock beneath the waterfall and return to the Mithral Forge with the Ultros. Cool. So here's my problem with that. That makes no goddamn sense. So the forge is here, where it says Necropolis. That's supposed to be the falls. So the forge is here. In order to get to here from the Ultros, they have to go all the way up the fucking River Archelon, literally through the city of Astoria, up to here. That don't make no goddamn sense. Don't make no goddamn sense. I'm very confused. Refer to the Treasures Appendix for information about how the heroes can make use of the Mithral Forge. If they make a deal with the Forge Keeper and discover the docks, they can easily return to the Forge. Forge Keeper will work with Vulcan to make items from any components that they bring. The dock is well hidden and has been forgotten by everyone, so it makes a good hiding place for any ship that the heroes might have, including the Ultros. Demi-god and the Dragon Slayer use the Mithral Forge to craft some of their artifacts. Refer to Running the Epic Paths section for details. Let's do that. Running the Epic Paths. So the demi-god needs to create his weapon. Once the fires in the Mithral Forge are relit, Vulcan can forge the unfinished weapon when given the appropriate materials. What is that? We'll get to that. And then the Dragon Slayer. The Forge Keeper will give the Dragon Slayer their lesser magic. It didn't say that, did it? Oh, you fucked up. Oh, you fucked up. Yeah, they forgot to do the thing. Forge Keeper says the Dragon Slayer must obtain a weapon powerful enough to fight a dragon. Hey, Rebel Federation is raiding with a party of 7. Thanks for the raid. Do I have audio from the alert box? Hopefully. I don't know. Thanks for the raid. Glad you guys could be here. So they get their lesser magic item, which is, let's check out the epic paths. Down, oh my god, this is hard. Dragon Slayer. Lesser magic item. Oh, she picked. She had to pick one of them. So let's check it out. Odyssey. Odyssey character info, is it in here? Amber picked a Ring of Fire Resistance. Okay, so that's a thing. Dragon Slayer's lesser item from Forge Keeper is Ring of Fire Resistance. Okay. Did the cursed one actually pick? Nope, just general brightness. So yeah, I need to refer to magic items. Mithral Forge. Alright, so Mithral Forge, this is a thing that exists. But there's also Pythor's Hammer. So Pythor's Hammer, you need a magical sword, an orb of star metal, a magical mace, and an adamantine ingot to make the Rod of Lordly Might. And I already closed that spreadsheet. I don't know what Luke picked for his greater item. Let's find out. Luke, greater item, Luckblade. So he needs an orb of star metal. Just trying to get this thing. There we go. And then... Okay. No. It's gonna be a dick. There we go. Shrink that down. Move it up. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking with oil. Of course he picked the Luckblade. Of course he did. Well, I mean, the Rod of Lordly Might doesn't do a whole lot for an Artificer, so kind of makes sense. Yeah, so let's go back to the Mithral Forge. What kind of stuff can they make? Bunch of, like, they need, wow, there's no primary or second, just, you can make an Amulet of Health. Isn't that, Amulet of Health, isn't that the 19 con? Yeah, that's the 19 con item. 5 days and 200 GP. Just go. Make one. That's crazy. You may allow the heroes to use the Mithral Forge to craft items using the normal creation costs and minimum levels. See Game Master's Guide, page 129. Forge accelerates the rate at which items may be crafted without increasing the overall cost. Use the table below to determine the rate at which items may be crafted. But once an item is crafted, the Forge must be allowed to rest for 1 week. So the Forge effectively quadruples it, and then Vulcan being there to help causes it to be sextupled. So that's neat. They can all get one with the money they make in the mine. Yes, but the Forge has to rest for a week after they make an item, so they have to choose carefully. But also, a lot of them have decent con, other than Orsino. Orsino's only got +1 con, so the Amulet of Health would be really good for him. Everyone else has either +2 or +3. So, And Steph actually has 17 con right now. She's planning on bumping it to 18 at level 8. So she doesn't need an amulet. I guess she could just not bump con if she got an amulet, but then like kind of ruins her odd score thing. I guess she could take a full feed at that point then, but I think it's better served on Orsino. Anyway, but yeah, like they can find like these stuffs. So Luke needs an orb of star metal to make his luck blade. So my question is, where can he find them? Indigo Island? Okay. Wow. Okay. Neat. This is literally after the game ends, or the like the base game ends. So yeah, there's one orb of star metal. Okay, random event on the sea. You can find an orb of star metal, and then yeah, that's it. Those are the 3 sources of orbs of star metal. Bye, space sword. Absolutely, the luck blade's going to be a space sword. There's no fucking question about that. That's gonna be awesome. Yeah, I think I'm just about done. I do want to go over the Necropolis again, just because I don't really know much about Damon. So let's do that. So we know about the Necropolis, the history. Xander is buried at the center of the Necropolis. In addition to the Dragon Lord, skeletal remains of Balmithria, the Silver Dragon, are entombed here, because I guess Balmithria actually died. Interesting. This city of the dead is regarded as a sacred place forbidden to anyone except other Dragon Lords. It's guarded by Damon. He was Xander's friend and the most powerful wizard of his day. Since he achieved undeath, he has seen all of his friends pass in the afterlife and now makes sure no one loots the city's treasures. But they have to recover the armaments of the Dragon Lords. Xander's armaments are still located in this crypt. The axe of Xander and the shield of Vulcan have been looted by the Minotaur Graxus, while the breastplate of Mitros is still in the corpse of Xander in his sarcophagus. Emphasize the silence. Snow absorbs much of the sounds. Skeletons and specters make no sound when attacking. Damon does not speak. The only creature in the entire necropolis that speaks is the Minotaur Graxus. At first, you journey across the Great Plains with Thylea, uneventful. Big hands, arms of Kentamane. Cool. Path of the Dead. Harpies. Opposite the mountain path. Luring song. Trying to get the players to fall. 5d6 bludgeoning damage if they fall. Cool. Valley Shrouded in Mist, if you decide to be a dumb and go down. Anyone who climbs down? But, oh, you fall to a ledge. Got it. Yeah, if you jump down, you fall on a ledge, which is not the bottom. If you're dumb and go down to the bottom, yeah, undead things. The approach. The ancient necropolis stands before you, awe-inspiring in both size and splendor. This is built in the necropolis. Necropolis Telamok. It's okay, you can do it. What's really cool is they rotated this map for Roll20 so that it's fucking readable. Because this map is weirdly diagonal despite not having a compass. I don't understand. Jay Miller's contributed money to the Avernus speedrun challenge, and by money I mean gold, and by gold I mean channel points. We're getting there. We got 5%. Bayless went live. That's cool. So we'll raid him when we're done here. The approach to the ruins is a paved path covered lightly by snow. You can see tracks. Tracks look like they were made by a 2-legged bull. They're on to and from the necropolis. A powerful Minotaur made the tracks. If you make a DC 20 survival check. So this is the kind of thing where it's like, separate levels of information. This is the kind of thing that would work really well for the combined tool skill proficiencies that we were talking about last week on last call. I think that's really cool, but your adventure needs to be designed with it in mind. Damon the Lich. He was a companion of the original Dragon Lords. He lost everything in the First War, including his wife and children. Dedicated his life to the defense of the settlers. Now he defends the Necropolis to honor those who sacrificed their lives to do the same. He is a Lich. The Necropolis is his lair, and he doesn't want to fight you. If the Cursed One is present, then Damon recognizes them and gives them a lost family heirloom, a gem of brightness. He also tells them they must seek the Lotus Switch. Refer to the Running the Epic Paths section for details. Let's do that right now. The Cursed One. I hate how these aren't alphabetical. Damon knew the Cursed One's ancestor. He says the curse is unlike any other in Thylia, and that it was devised by Sidon and Lutheria. He says that the Cursed One must seek out the Lotus Witch on Scorpion Island. She will know how to break the curse. Damon gives the Cursed One a lost family heirloom, a gem of brightness. Alright, so this is the first major departure from the as-written epic path. So let me turn off word wrap. Or let me turn on word wrap, rather. So this is the first major departure from as written. So as written, the Cursed One's ancestor started the curse, and then the Cursed One just sort of inherited it. My Cursed One actually just got his curse, so like 5 years ago or something like that, and he has no fucking clue why. And he would desperately like to know why. So, Damon, Damon has no knowledge of the Cursed One, but Damon knew the one who cursed him. All Medusae are cursed by the lost god. Let me just double check that that's what he's called. Forgotten gods. All Medusae are cursed by a forgotten god. The Lotus Witch will know how to break the curse. So the Lotus Witch is actually a figure from our Cursed One's backstory. So our Cursed One is an Arisian who, when he went to Scorpion Island to go through his rite of passage, he just jumped off the ship on the way there because he didn't believe in the rite of passage. He thought it was barbaric having to kill the scorpions instead of trying to save them. So he fled, and as he fled, he was turned into a Medusa. And my explanation for that having happened, so that was all something that my player came up with. They were just like, I don't know why that would happen. It's up to you as the DM to figure that out. And I'm like, okay, cool. So my explanation is that Narcissus, the god of beauty in Arisia, has a great vested interest in every Arisian passing the rite of passage, because they're sort of like his children, and he is deeply offended by anyone who would shirk that responsibility or fail the rite. So he curses them so that they can never, so that no one will ever care that they were Arisian. Like, you're a cursed creature. No one needs to know that you failed the rite of passage. So the question is, how do I explain the Gem of Brightness? I feel like the Gem of Brightness does something at some point. Woof. I guess not. Wow. Yikes. Jeez. So how is the Gem of Brightness explained? I don't think it's a family heirloom. I think it's, Mercy told him to give it to... Nah. Yeah, how do I explain the Gem of Brightness? Like, why does he have this gem and why is he giving it to... It doesn't seem to be important. It doesn't look like it's actually going to do anything at any point. Yeah, like, it doesn't do anything for the story. It's just a magic item that he gets to have. So I don't really know... Family heirloom previously belonging to the Forgotten God. Used to belong to the Forgotten God. So here's the thing. Damon knew the Forgotten God. Damon, like, knew him personally. So the Forgotten God is Narcissus. So if we actually go into here, I don't think Narcissus shows up in... No. So Narcissus was the Oathsworn of Yasenna. Yeah, so Narcissus was the Oathsworn of Yasenna. Yasenna is considered a deserter, but actually it was Narcissus that deserted. And then Yasenna just kind of like disappeared into... I guess Yasenna followed Narcissus. And then she died because she was a human, and then Narcissus didn't because he's a god now. But Narcissus is one of the brothers of the rest of the 5 gods. You know, of whom there are actually 7, because there's 2 forgotten gods. So Narcissus, as a dragon prior to becoming a god, his name in my game, because I gave each of the 5 gods their own dragon name, his name was Aristanar. And Damon knew Aristanar, the dragon, when Yasenna rode him into battle. So, like, Damon knows who Narcissus is. Damon knows some stuff about him. I think Damon is definitely bound by the Oath of Peace not to reveal that the 5 gods are the Dragon Lord's dragons. But I don't think he's bound to not mention Narcissus. So I think this might be the time to info dump. This is the time to info dump Narcissus. So he is a willing captive of the Queen of Arisia. No, Narcissus. Hello, Blaze45824582. What's up? Not much, just prepping for D&D. So he's a willing captive of the Queen of Arisia. He's been there for hundreds of years. Quietly influences their prosperity. I think that's about all I want to give him. Obviously, he'll weave that a little bit better than I would. But yeah, or the NPC will weave it better. Myself, as the NPC, will weave it better at the table than I have just now. Now I'm just like bullet pointing, and at the table I'll actually, yeah. So. So then there's a lot of crypts. So if we do a big old zoom in, too big. So we got Area 3, Tomb of Telamok, Area 4, Tomb of Adonis, Area 5, Tomb of Estor, Area 6, Tomb of Rezon, Area 7, Tomb of Cosmo, Area 8, Auvergnat, Tomb of Myrto the Magnificent, the third leader of the Dragon Lords. So the leaders of the Dragon Lords, the first one was Xander. When Xander died, Cosmo, the firstborn son of Rezon, became leader, and then when Cosmo died, Myrto became the leader. Where's Area 9? Why is 14 all the way over here? That's weird. Okay, 9, This numbering got really fucky all of a sudden. So 9, Tomb of Isador, the granddaughter of Xander. Okay. 10, Lysis, the great-grandson of Astor, last of his family to rule Astoria. Archlanders had ruled Astoria as kings for over a century, but Lysis proved to be a mad tyrant who stayed on the throne with wanton murder and torture. The god Pythor, unable to stand by and watch, overthrew him and took the throne. Yep, sounds about right. Ochos, Archelander, is another in the Archelander family, but he was a soldier rather than a king. Bronze statue stands behind the sarcophagus. The bronze statue is actually a golem. Although it's made of bronze, it has the statistics of an iron golem, except its AC is 18 instead of 20. Woof. He has a +2 breastplate. That is crazy. That's great for him. It is not consecrated. The Tomb of Dorion, Area 12. For some reason, we just start back down here again. That's very odd. Soot darkens the floor and walls of this tomb, an ornate sarcophagus. I don't know why I'm reading it. But, like, there's no pillars? Is that actually where that's supposed to be? Yeah, it's really weird. Like, 12 and 13, like, they don't have, like, the pillars and the slab. That's really weird. That's really weird. Okay. Yeah, 12 and 13 are odd. Dorian Nordagon was the last of his family to take up the mantle of Dragon Lord. His tomb has been looted, set on the walls from a fire-based trap that no longer works. Dorian's body is missing its head. There's no treasure. Cool. Gregor. Unlike the other tombs, this tomb does not have marble pillars. Okay. The body of Gregor of the Horath family was never found. Yeah, there are so many golems in here. There's iron golem, clay golem. I think there's some marble golems too. But like, this entire place is like crazy. If you guys decide to start, if your players decide to start grave robbing, even in the graves where like it's not consecrated and like you don't get murdered for it. The Tomb of Nicholas, Phobos, Blessed of Sidon. Ooh, very last of the Dragon Lords. He swore fealty to Sidon. Woof. Woof. That's a bad move. It's 14 over here for no reason whatsoever. Yeah, there's 2 clay golems in Area 8. 2 clay golems attack anyone who enters the tomb. Like, jeez. Area 15, the Tomb of Balmithria. This massive tomb dwarfs all of the others in the Necropolis. The pristine white marble mausoleum is supported by immense serpentine pillars. As you draw closer, you realize these pillars are actually statues that have been carved in the shapes of dragons. Some believe the houses a passageway to the underworld. Cool. Unlike most of the art in the Necropolis, the mosaics that line the walls and ceiling here are pristine, almost new in appearance. The panel closest to the entrance depicts 5 majestic dragons, 1 silver and 4 bronze, soaring through the heavens. A formidable human warrior is mounted on each dragon. The next mosaic is dominated by the verdant coast of Thylea, while the bronze dragons remain aloft. The silver dragon is shown making landfall on this new continent. Her rider greets a haggard-looking group of humans on the shore. Subsequent mosaics show human civilization on the continent blossoming from tiny towns to great walled cities under the leadership of the Dragon Lords. So cool. Huge marble block rests at the center of the mausoleum, is where the body of Balmithria is interred. The block is 15 feet long, 10 feet wide, and 5 feet high. It cannot be moved except by one of the Titans or by the 5 gods, but none are willing to disturb the resting place of Balmithria. And then there's the Tomb of Xander, which is Area 16, tomb entrance. He's got a nice big entrance because he was the leader of the Dragon Lords. So Xander amidst intricate lines. Laurel leaves, and then it actually, like, this is its whole sub-dungeon. And I think on a previous DM prep stream I explained why this entire sub-dungeon sucks. So, number one, mazes suck. Mazes are not fun in D&D. Mazes cannot be made fun in D&D. I've been trying for 10 years. I haven't found a good way to do it. I've run something like 6 or 7 mazes in 6 or 7 different ways, and they've never been fun. They just aren't. So please stop trying. Please never, ever, ever draw a map. If you're going to do a maze, just describe it narratively. Don't make your players decide, which direction they're going to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask my players, what is your strategy? And they're going to tell me, hug the right wall. And I'm going to tell them, okay, here's what you reveal. And I'm going to reveal everything that they would reveal if they just hugged the right wall, which is all of these things that I'm hovering over right now. And bam, you're back at the entrance. So you reveal literally that whole thing, and you're back at the entrance. And then, congrats, you've accomplished nothing. And then they'll be like, okay, we'll keep hugging the right wall. And then they make it into Area 19, and then dead end, and then back to that intersection. And then, like, that's it. And yes, this one is restaurant kids menu easy. Like, this is the dumbest maze ever. So the thing that makes a maze, and not a labyrinth, is circles, cycles. So there are places where you can end up back where you started without backtracking. That's what makes it a maze and not a labyrinth. This was pretty clearly supposed to be a labyrinth because they have. I might have those descriptions backwards. I'm not sure. But this was pretty clearly supposed to be a labyrinth because there's a minotaur in here. But they call it a maze. So, no good way to do it. So just ask your players how they want to go about it. You make navigation through the maze a skill challenge. I've tried that. That is something that I tried because I used to play 4th edition. It felt terrible. One of the examples in 4th edition. I don't think it was in any of the books. I think it was in an article that someone wrote. It might have been Sly Flourish. Sly Flourish did a lot of really good writing back in 4th edition. But one of the articles that I read was that you should allow players ridiculous latitude when they're choosing powers to use in skill challenges. And one of the examples that they gave was in the course of traversing a maze, your players, if your ranger player says, I want to use Split the Tree, which is a daily power that essentially allows them to just attack 2 enemies at once and do a bunch of damage to both of them. If they say, I want to use Split the Tree to have supernatural focus and just sort of understand 2 different directions at once, you should give them a +10 to their whatever skill they're going to roll for that check because they spent a daily power and they gave a vaguely meaningful explanation for how they're doing it. That's all fine and dandy until you literally put that in front of your players at the table, because your players at the table are going to go, I have a healing spell. Can I use a healing spell to help me navigate them? Huh? You gotta give me something. So yeah, the guidance was if they use a daily power, give them a +10. If they use an encounter power, give them a +5. If they use an at-will power, give them a +2. As long as they give a reasonable explanation for, or not even reasonable, just a half-decent explanation for how that power helps them with that skill. I tried skill challenges in 4th edition for mazes. They don't work. There's just no way to make these fun. The worst case scenario in this maze is you waste some time. That is the worst case scenario. And since time isn't of the essence, our worst case scenario is wasting our time. So what you do is you just say, okay, cool, this is what you do. So I am going to do something. Something just occurred to me while talking here. So what I want to be able to do while my players are traversing is I want to be able to very quickly just reveal areas. So if I want to reveal this, like I want to reveal these hallways, but yes, turn off auto war. If I want to reveal like these hallways, that I need to turn off dynamic lighting. Just gotta make sure that's off. Dynamic lighting is off. This dynamic lighting is off. Fog of war is enabled. All right. So if I want to reveal these hallways, the players literally can barely see the walls. So I want them to be able to see the walls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the map layer, I'm going to grab this guy, and then I'm going to shunt it. This actually isn't a good idea. So what I was thinking is I would move it a half square in each direction, but then the squares are actually drawn on the map, which means that it's going to be a bad time. Here, let me reveal a square and then move the map. So, I didn't hold Alt. I was like, why did that just plunk back down? So what this would allow me to do is I can just grab here and then bam. Now the players can actually see the walls adjacent to the paths they've been in. But what it means is they're going to have to hold Alt anytime they like, I have to hold Alt to get these things into squares. But I think it's a decent trade-off because I'm going to spend a lot of time revealing areas and not a lot of time fighting in here. So I think that's a decent trade-off. So we're going to go with it. Not the end of the world, in my opinion. So we're gonna go with it and see how it goes. I'll let you know what the results are, and I gotta hide that. All right. So let's, I guess, read about this area. So Area 19 looks like there's a bunch of skeleton minotaurs. That's cool. What are these skeletons of ancient hall plates? They're equipped differently than standard skeletons. They have breastplates, shields, swords, and pikes. Skeletons fight in a phalanx formation with the skeletons in front. Skeleton in front using a shield and skeleton in the back using two-handed pikes. Skeletons in front using shields and short swords of AC 18. In the back they have AC 16 extra long pikes. Why do they have 15-foot reach? But okay. Where are skeletons? Oh, labyrinth encounters. For every 5 minutes of exploration, roll on the following table. I hate it. Alright, so three problems with this. Number one, having to track time means that you have to track fucking time. That sucks. Number two, running into Minotaur skeletons in the middle of a hallway is just absolutely ridiculous because the Minotaur skeleton, like, they're large and these are medium hallways. So combat, you win because they're squeezing. And then number three, you're not going to spend 5 minutes in here, and I'll show you why. So we're going to do snap to corner. Whoops. Snap to corner. So watch this. So let's say your players want to hug the right wall. And they are doing so ever so faithfully. So they actually like make their way to the end of every single hallway. And not just like stop as soon as they can see the end of the hallway. This is a nightmare. Oh god, where am I going? Up here, over here, here, here. Alright, so 1,320 feet. So, let's say that your players are walking this path, and this is ridiculously unoptimal. They take every single path to the absolute corner, and they hug to the right wall all the way through this path, and it was 1,320 feet. So if we take 1,320 feet, we divide it by 30 feet per round, no dashing, we get 44 rounds. Divide that by 10 rounds per minute, and we got 4.4 minutes to do all of that. Okay, cool. So they get to like here, and they get, you know, I roll for a random encounter. Why? Just why? I'm pretty sure you could explore this entire thing in half an hour. Like map literally the entire dungeon in half an hour. And that's if they go to the end of every single hallway. like this hallway alone, if we just stop, you know, I kind of want to do it. So let's say they actually stop as soon as they can see a corner. Because you're going to save a lot of feet. So they'll stop here, because then they can see that they're both dead ends. Stop there, stop there. Yeah, I don't know why I did the hilariously suboptimal, because there really wasn't any need to. Like, there's no party that's going to behave that way. So just by shaving off those corners, we shaved off 340 feet. So we've got 980 feet of travel at your 60 feet per round. We're looking at 33 rounds, 3 minutes to do that entire right section of the maze. And that's even assuming that, you know, your players aren't splitting up even remotely. Like, they get to this this intersection and they see, okay, well, this one goes this way and that hallway goes that way, so like one of these is going to go the right way, and then one of them gets to the end of here, and then they're like, well, okay, like they can divide and conquer in ways that don't split the party, that can make it take even less time. So if I was if I were to guess, I would say that it takes 2 minutes for a well-organized party of not morons to explore that right wall. So this, every 5 minutes of exploration will go off maybe twice, and then there's a 60% chance that you get an encounter. I don't buy it. And then the fact that you can run into Graxus, the big Minotaur who's supposed to be part of like the boss fight, or Minotaur skeletons. Yeah. Well, Shadows, you would be boned by hugging the right wall, because this maze specifically takes you literally everywhere you want to go with 2 dead ends if you hug the left wall. If you hug the right wall, you hit every single dead end except for 2. Go ahead, screenshot it. Screenshot it and follow along. If you hug the right wall, you get absolutely shafted. And if you hug the left wall, you win. So, what's in this tomb? Let's see. Like, what's in this tomb? So we got Area 19, we got some Minotaur skeletons. Cool. Area 18, you know, we got skeletons and Minotaur skeletons. One Minotaur attacking the heroes from the front while the other comes from the rear. If they explore this entire right area, and you know, the entire area, and then they get waylaid from behind, they're going to be so pissed because there's no way for it to happen. It's just not possible. Unless we just say, it's a maze, you narratively get attacked. I don't know. But then the Minotaur skeletons are squeezing because the hallways are only 5 feet wide, unless they're 10 feet wide. Nope, one square is 5 feet. Yeah, or you could buy the book. Yeah, I mean, someone already won a monthly giveaway for a copy of the book. Yeah, I am not a fan of this maze, clearly. False tomb. Circular chamber is domed ceiling with an oculus lets in some light from above. How in the fuck? The chamber is dominated by a large stone sarcophagus engraved with gilded letters. Gilded trolls. The floor at the foot of the sarcophagus is covered by an old but beautifully woven rug. The rug depicts Xander conquering a race of bull-headed minotaurs. One of the creatures kneels at Xander's feet with a peace offering held above his head. So I think the history here is that Xander murdered a whole race of minotaurs, or like he subjugated a whole race of minotaurs. This room is false and it's a trap. Sarcophagus is a mimic, rubs an animated rug. Not deadly. Like, not much. It's not a big deal. Graxus' lair, Area 21, which is, you can't get to Area 20 without going through Area 21, so I don't know why these are numbered this way. Blood and offal. Animal carcasses and slabs of meat hang from the ceiling, heavy chains. Cool. Human farmers. Neat. Hunts once a month, stores his kill. Curse prevents him from sleeping, so he can't rest. It's possible to set up an ambush. He keeps baubles and coins he's taken from those he hunted and killed. Copper, silver, gold, jewelry. Cool. Chamber supplicants. Barrel vaulted chambers littered with bones, discarded weapons, rusted shields, pillars and alcoves along the walls house marble statues of priests and supplicants. So they become skeletons, 3 in the front, 3 in the behind. Cool. It's our trap. Yes. Twitch is really weird about making links. Like, how is satrap.gif a link? Like, why do you think that this is a link, Twitch? Like, that's not how... No, stop it. You should at least need the protocol. The HTTP. So... 6 skeletons. They're skeletons. Skeletons. Party of... I mean... So one of the really weird things about this module is that you can technically do the Great Labors in any order. So they kind of had to sort of balance each of them for like level 2, 3, or 4 parties. They're really weird. So like 6 skeletons is not going to be a fight. Like that's just not anything. Rectangular room has a high ceiling, sculpted walls, and a flagstone floor. Mangled skeleton lies near the entryway. The walls are embellished with rows of screaming stone faces. The far end of the room features a pair of heavy bronze double doors. 2 skeletons are sprawled on the floor in front of the doors. Their bones are partially crushed, and their armor is mangled. Trap triggers with more than 300 pounds of weight have gathered in the room. Bronze doors are barred from the other side and require a DC 30 strength check to open. As traps trigger, the doors will become unbarred, but will still be stuck and will still require a strength check to open, as discussed below. Wait. The trap is triggered, doors become unbarred, but still stuck. Okay. Trap works over 4 rounds. Have all players roll initiative. On initiative 20, portcullis descends in the entrance, cutting off any retreat. South wall then begins to push forward with a screech of metal against metal. Okay, on initiative count 10 of the second round, spikes protrude from the mouths of the wall carvings, dealing piercing damage to everyone in the room. Okay, at initiative count 1 of the fourth round, anyone who's still alive in the room takes 10d6 bludgeoning damage as the wall smashes inward. Anyone reduced to 0 hit points is crushed to a paste. 3 ways to escape the trap. Pull the lever, which is just not possible. I think I covered this like last time I was here. Or maybe I just did it on my own. Like seeing the trap trigger and then like running back to the lever is like, that's some insane run for level 3, 4 characters. Like even a monk with mobile bonus action dashing can get here in 2 rounds, and then it's an action to pull the lever, I believe. Doesn't say. I would probably allow it as an interaction. It's just a lever. But yeah, a monk with mobile bonus action dashing could get there in 2 rounds. So you can force open the bronze doors. DC 30 strength check to open when it's barred. DC 15 strength opens door in 3 rounds. 20 opens the door in 2 rounds. 25 plus opens them immediately. Give Orsino those horseshoes of speed. So if I do give out the horseshoes of speed, I think I'm going to have their efficacy since you're only wearing 2. But then there would be a pair of pairs essentially. So Orsino and Helios could wear it, or Remir could wear them, and just get plus 30 feet speed as a centaur. Which, and then the Tomb of Xander. This large barrel vaulted chamber is decorated with polished bronze fittings which flicker like gold in the dim red light of a single torch. Center of the room is dominated by a black marble sarcophagus engraved with the likeness of the Dragon Lord Xander. Whispers break the silence, solemn voices from ages past, extolling the deeds of the man interred here. Chamber is lit by a single ever-burning torch, which they can steal. The lid of the sarcophagus weighs nearly a ton. Takes a combined strength of 22 to slide the lid off the sarcophagus. As soon as it's open, if Graxus is alive, he'll arrive to attack the heroes. Is Graxus, like, is he like a big deal? Like, is he like a boss kind of thing, or is he just a dude? Minotaur hero. Alright, let's look him Actually, I can probably pull up his character sheet from here. Yeah, boy. 19 AC. 94 hit points, charge, extra piercing damage. 2 attacks with Great Axe, 2d12. Yeah, I mean, he CR5. He's not a huge deal. Makes a charge attack, then disengages. What is his speed? Speed's only 40. So the players are faster than him, but they might let him go, possibly. It's possible. But that's assuming he lives an entire round, which is unlikely. Once Xander's sarcophagus has been opened, he'll fight to the death. So I don't hate the idea of Graxus having a feature that allows him to squeeze for free, like Graxus specifically. So I kind of want to just say, like, oh yeah, like eyeball the time it takes them to explore the maze and have them run into him at least once before the hulking form of Graxus, who suddenly looms in the two-man entryway. He snorts derisively. Come to pay your respects. So what do you think of your great hero? Xander the Conqueror. Xander the Murderer. I spit on his bones. Hefts his great axe and bellows so loud that the very walls of the tomb seem to quake. He charges at you. After 2 rounds of combat, without a sound, Xander's desiccated corpse rises from his sarcophagus. He raises his hands towards Graxus. Minotaur's great axe appears to jump from the beast's hand of its own volition, flying into the grasp of the undead king. He changes his withered grip on the weapon and presents its handle to you. So, after 2 rounds, Xander takes the axe if the fight isn't over yet. Is the axe of Xander even a great axe? It is a great axe, okay. And I'm guessing it gets bigger in the Minotaur's hands or something. And then there's a whole lot of stuff that happens with Xander, but I don't think we're going to get this far, so that's fine. So Xander's a white with 22 strength, max HP, breastplate of Mitros, but it's dented. His alignment is true neutral. He will not fight unless absolutely forced to by the party. Xander will stand up, silently remove his breastplate, and lay it on the ground in front of his sarcophagus. This done, he will silently return to his sarcophagus and drags the lid back into place. And I love how he has 22 strength, which is just enough, which is exactly the same as the combined strength required to slide the lid off the sarcophagus. Shield of Vulcan can be looted from Graxus' corpse. Xander has information concerning the location of the Vanished One's fabled armor. He will speak to this hero. He also carries 2 crowns of the Dragon Lords, which he awards to the Vanished One and to the Gifted One. Okay, so the axe, the breastplate, and the shield you essentially get all at the same time. Axe and shield are badly damaged. Magical properties aren't working. You can take them to the Mithral Forge for repair. And Vulcan needs Pythor's hammer to do it. You can repair 1 item per week of work. Wolf. Xander was never one to shy away from battle. We possessed a certain nobility of spirit the other Dragon Lords lacked. My mother believed that he would carry on fighting even in her absence, but after she ascended, he seemed to no longer care whether he survived to see the peace restored. Yeah, Xander really liked Belmithria. Okay, so this is all intended under Damon, so Xander knows the Vanished One. Quietly gives him his crown, which reminds him of his identity as Adonis Nordagon. So that's going to be a big deal. So the Cursed One and the Vanished One are my 2 players who changed their epic path. So the Vanished One, as written, is supposed to be just some unnamed Dragon Lord that isn't elsewhere in the book. But I decided that he is Adonis, one of the Dragon Lords who doesn't really have much impact on the book, but he also has like this really meaty history, including being married to Aesop the Dragon Shrine. So that's cool. Recognize the Vanished One, gives them the crown of the Dragon Lords. However, their famed armor has been stolen by a man named Gaius. Gaius is the commander of the Order of Sidon. He keeps the Vanished One's fabled armor in his room on the island of Yonder. Alright. Gaius keeps his fabled armor on the island of Yonder. So I should... Let me look at the Tomb of Adonis, because if there is... Adonis is wearing a breastplate +1 and a short sword of quickness. Consecrated, grave robber, cool. So there's no corpse here. There's no corpse in the Tomb of Adonis. So there isn't going to be a breastplate or a short sword. That's fine. I don't know that my players are going to try to like open these crypts. But hopefully you guys learned something about running a maze, which is to say that don't. And hopefully you guys learned something about running a boring dungeon crawl with a bunch of dumb monsters in it, which is to say, get it over quickly. That's not to say that they're bad. It's not to say that they're boring. It's just don't try to make them something there aren't. So with the Troglodyte Caverns, it could very easily just be a really boring slog if you make your players try to like stealth their way through. Like, oh, okay, well, let's see how the next fight starts. And it's just like, the next fight is going to start before this one ends. So just more go. Yeah, so cool beans. So thanks for being here. If you guys are really interested to see how the session goes with the content that I just prepped, check us out, twitch.tv/thegildedtroll, right where you're at right now, hopefully, maybe. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. EST. And then yesterday I prepped Curse of Strahd. That session is on Sunday at 1 p.m. EST. And then that's the end of our broadcast week. But you can check back on Wednesday for Last Call at the Gilded Troll, which is our talk show podcast weird kind of thing that Steph and I do. And if you're not already on our Discord, you can join our Discord. If you're a Twitch sub, you can connect your Twitch and Discord accounts and get access to our subscriber-only channels. Also, all of our players are active on Discord, and you can chat with us there. But thanks for being here, and we're gonna go raid Mr. Bayless. So thank you everybody for being here. If you're watching this on YouTube, check out our Twitch. If you're on Twitch, check out our YouTube. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.